If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. Good night from the Dusty Wheel. As you see around here, smash the block. Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, Innkeeper, and this is your live calling talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And yes, we're back. Innkeeper Hatch was here this morning. Some really cool What Wednesday stuff. If you didn't watch this morning's stream, I know I know it says Black Ajah shredding White Tower Rift's new cast. Basically, this is a highlights of that stream. I feel like that's what it's going to turn into. But I do have some wonderful guests here to talk about all the cool new cast that we've had, as well as, some scenes that we're seeing at CCXP. We have, a special guest here that can speak to that. But yeah, a lot of really cool things to do tonight, and to full house at the inn. We have Rebecca from Reading the Pattern, Kevin Angus, Calu from People of the Dragon, and Eve. So a couple, new first-time guests, a couple of returning guests. Welcome, all four of you, to the Dusty Wheel.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. All right. Okay.
It's been so long.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's been so
Kevin.
long.
It's been,
I mean-
yeah.
I was
All
like
right,
a
okay.
different man back then.
Okay.
You were.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, some men have changed who they are since then, since this moment.
I know I have.
Yes. Yeah. So, all right. Before we actually get started, Kelly, let me start with you. People of the Dragon. I tried to go to your YouTube channel. I'm sure the mods will be able to put that link. Limited Portuguese that I could understand, but you guys were, having a lot of fun time covering. So, what do you guys do at the YouTube channel? Do you cover the season, the news? What sort of stuff are you up to?
So, hey, thanks for having us. We started out as a podcast, posting before the show started, just one episode a month, going really chill. And then the show, the news about season one started coming. And then we decided to focus like producing videos, recording our podcast. It was only audio back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then we only show up on YouTube when it's season time, and then we cover the season. We have live streams, dedicated videos during the week, and preparing for the season, of course. And then this week we had a live stream on Wednesday, but it didn't work out really well. Last week, actually, right?
Yeah.
It didn't work out. We had some technical issues. It was a mess. You guys were there. I don't know if it was you, if it was Matt, but you were all like on the chat trying to keep up.
Oh, okay.
But it was
Now,
awful. And then we recorded something.
yeah.
We decided to record a video about our analysis of the teaser, and then our report on the CCXP scenes, and it's out on our channel now.
Okay.
But yeah, mainly we focus on the Wheel of Time. We have some other content about Stormlight Archive or the Farseer trilogy, but Hyperion.
you
But
could-
it's
you
just
could
exceptional.
see it.
We're mainly
Right there.
yeah. I'm 50% on Wind and Truth.
All right.
Getting
Okay.
there.
For the 5 people here, done with Wind and Truth? Yes or no?
Yes, I finished
Yes.
last night.
No.
Okay.
I have
I'm
day
50%
10
in.
finished.
I read for 8 full hours yesterday to get it done.
Okay.
So that was
All right.
a lot.
Okay. Kevin, you haven't said anything.
I've been too busy with season 3 stuff. I
Yes,
haven't even
the
bought
important.
it yet.
The
I've
right
been really
answer.
busy.
The right
I
answer.
really
even
have been
about
busy. I'm sorry. I do
There's
want to
a
get
lot
to it.
going on.
I don't even
Yeah.
need to do a reread. I've done a reread like really recent enough that I don't even need, I can just jump right into it. I just haven't yet. So
Okay. Hey.
Good, because it'll take you
yeah.
like, a month.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
12. I don't know.
I'll
Yes.
get there.
Yeah, it's a good book. Read it. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. All right, cool. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I think probably Matt was there. I don't think it was me, and that's really cool. So I guess the question is, you do stuff when the season, it's a season time. Is it season time? Like, right? It is season time.
Yes,
I think we're
since the cast announcement and first teaser, and then we start coming back. We had actually a great Wednesday news in Brazil here, because here the publication of the books is not yet complete. So we have up until Path of Daggers, and then it's not a huge success here in Brazil, the Wheel of Time books. So it takes a while to get them published. And after a year and a half of no news at all, the publishing company just announced that Winter's Heart is coming next year. So
Okay.
it was a bit of What Wednesday news as well. So it's fun time now for us Brazilian readers as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
I think hearing that is just so cool, right? I think part of that may be because more people are watching the show and then they're reading the books, and I'm sure there's a huge number of people. I mean, CCXP, it was kind of amazing to see how many people were there, in Brazil, cheering everything that was there.
It was nice to when the actors and Rafe Judgings were there on the stage. I really felt that more people, like a lot of people were watching, a lot of people cared about what they were saying, they were really excited. And I was like, oh, so there are a lot of fans actually of the show. And I was really excited because we get into like this bubble of our followers, people who watch our videos and stuff. But it was nice seeing, other people, like a huge crowd cheering for the Wheel of Time, the teaser, and what the actors were saying. It was a lot of fun. It was nice to be able to witness that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Thank you, Rapunzel. What's her spoiler level? Because I know Eve hasn't finished all of Wheel of Time. Book 10, right? Book 10, is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
book
done
10.
with 10. And I
So-
know some other things, but I understand
You
people
know
don't want
some
to.
other things. Okay.
I don't mind spoilers. I actually like spoilers.
No,
but I know
yeah.
people don't like spoiling the fun, so.
Some spoilers.
We
you don't
will
want.
have spoilers, but we'll do end of book 5 for this, okay? End of book 5. People are still. I haven't mentioned the Cosmere in I don't know, 5 minutes, and people are still in chat saying that. So that just makes me think of it. So it's you who's bringing it up, not me. But yeah, Eve, we met at Dragonsteel and talked Wheel of Time a little bit. So you've read 10 books. How long have you been coming to the inn?
I only started watching your streams after Wat Idol this year. So
Okay.
I started reading the books a little over a year ago now. I think it was October of last year. So it's been a little over a year. And then I watched the show shortly after that. But yeah, I'm not on YouTube. Like I don't make any content on YouTube. Pretty much my fandom haunts are Tumblr, where I'm at Pillow Friends, and then AO3, which you can look that up at your own risk. It's mostly just a lot of words about Moraine. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I read through book 10 and took a pause in September. So I'm going to be going back to book 11, Knife of Dreams, in the new year. And I'm very excited.
All right. Some really cool books coming your way. My favorite book is book 12. Book 12, the Gathering Storm. So yeah, although book 11 is just an amazing book too. This is like tradition for new guests. Even though I'm not Innkeeper Hatch, favorite Forsaken, Kalyu, favorite Forsaken. Who's your favorite Forsaken?
It's Demandred, of course. I love him.
Okay.
I just love, River of Souls, that tiny novella. I'm upset. Okay. Sorry. But I'm upset. I'm upset about Demandred.
Okay, that's cool. And Eve?
I think mine's got to be Grendel. Please don't cancel me. I just think she's so interesting. I love all her POVs with her like politicking, always trying to one up Samael and everyone else. She's got, she's very showy. I like that about her.
Okay, yeah, that's. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. Is what I'm gonna do there. Grendel is awesome. Yes, Grendel is awesome. Innkeeper Hatch might disagree, but Grendel is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess for the two of you, Lanfear. I don't know actually. For Kevin, I think Rebecca is Lanfear, right? You cosplay as Lanfear.
Well, I have cosplayed as Lanfear, so that has to bump her up. I mean, I would have said before season 2, I probably, when I answered this question on this stream before, it was probably Moghedien.
Yeah.
And I still love Moghedien. But I mean, if you're talking show, I mean, Lanfear is like, at this point. And I have cosplayed as Lanfear and not as Moghedien, so,
All right. There you go. Kevin, we're not. Let's keep this a tease. I want people to think about who your favorite Forsaken hair is. I can't believe I've made this about Lanfear. I'm not a big Lanfear fan. I mean, I like Lanfear.
Her up.
I did. It's something. It's that sign. It's not me. It's a sign. All right. Okay. So, there was news that dropped, right? So we got 4 casting announcements, and let me show you these wonderful people who've joined the Wheel of Time season 3 cast: Olivia Williams, Luke Featherstone, Callum Kerr, and Noonan Lopez. So the royal family of Andor, and in no particular order, these are Lord Galad, Lord Gabriel, Queen Morghese, and Lord Gawain. That's the best I can do after showing you that in no particular order. So, this morning we, Tweeter of Chaos, not Tweeter, he who tweets for the dawn, but maybe Tweeter of Chaos, just because, it
was chaotic.
There are a lot of chaos there. Let's show you. This was a tweet that went out this morning, right? So we got confirmation of the Meet the Royal Family, and those are the 3 headshots. So although the one I used was from Watt series, I like Watt series. I trust Watt series, and Luke Featherstone, Callum Kerr, Neil Lopez, and Olivia Williams. That's I didn't think. We were going to get, Lord Gabriel, right? That was a surprise kind of announcement. Rebecca, were you like, we're getting this character?
I was I was surprised, but I think it'll be really interesting to see what his other name might be, because I'm not sure it'll necessarily be the one we're expecting.
Okay, yeah. So I think end of book 5 we can talk about
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord Gabriel and Ravin, right?
Yeah.
It is book 5. Hyper Havoc. What's the spoiler level? It's book 5 at end of book 5, and we might go book 10 spoilers. That's as far as we can go. So please in chat, we're book 5 for now, and if we do anything more than that, it'll be book 10. But yeah, Eve, Lord Gabriel, is that a character you thought, given that we've had this hint of 8 Forsaken, that was not someone you were going to see?
So I like Robin, not in a I want to hang out with him way, but I just think that his sections of the book are very horrifying in a way that kind of spoke to me as an enjoyer of weird, dark fantasy. But I didn't necessarily think that was a direction the show was going to go, especially so soon, especially if Morghase's plot is going to be minimized a little bit, which I guess we don't know. And at this point, it seems like that it is on the table for Morghase to have a bigger role than I was expecting. So I'm kind of excited about that in a weird way to see where they go with it. We know the show is not afraid to go weird, dark places. So
Yeah.
I was surprised but excited.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I thought was, and like in terms of season 1 we didn't get Caemlyn, right, and book 1 is Caemlyn, so and we didn't get Elias, and then season 2 we get Elias. So I've always thought that even though we didn't get Morghase, Elida, Andor, Caemlyn, that they would bring these elements back. I mean, in terms of how important they are to the books. So, but to this degree, yes, that is definitely kind of, a surprise in a way. Cal, is there a kind of do you think Lord Gabriel is a simple same character from the book to the show? This is someone in disguise. It's Ravin, or is there more to it? Could there be a merging of Forsaken here?
Yeah, maybe merging, but I guess what I found curious about the announcement is that he was presented as a member of the royal family. So I guess they might be, making his role bigger, like he's like the stepdad of the boys in Elanyne, like not just Morghase's boyfriend, just like, but a stepdad that has been there for a while, that has helped them grow up, like a stepdad for a long time, something like that, because he wasn't presented as, oh, he's a member of the royal family. So it might be more interesting, I guess, because he would have a relationship with Elanyne and Gawi and Galad, so could be a little more interesting maybe, but it's just a guess.
Yeah,
But I think they're combining like Ravin and Samael maybe.
yeah. I didn't even think of that. Given that this person is there now, I don't think Lord Gabriel met any of the children in the books, right? So yeah, that dynamic of it makes it even more interesting in how they will play it. So that's a cool I think way of how do they integrate that. I mean, again, more TV show stuff that is new, but still stuff we know. So you're like, oh, I know what this is. And they can easily kind of blindside you with, having an Anwer Damodred character, right? It's a similar kind of, we know Anwer Damodred, right? And who she turns out to be in the show versus the books. It's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Now, no one, I don't know if anyone pointed it out. Did anyone point out that I put up the wrong tweet?
I think one person might.
Okay, yeah, good. Okay, if you did, thank you. Because yes,
I'll scroll back up. Yeah,
we went live. Matt went live this morning, and that tweet had come out, and about an hour in, this and I got the one where Kira is quote putting it back. Said Andor is in good hands, and the actual wording is one more time, meet the royal family, and Luke Featherston is Lord Gawain, and it goes, Callum Kerr is Lord Galad. So there's a correction there. I purposefully put this one up because, like, this is how everyone felt. There's like, who's who now, and an hour into a stream like this morning, I feel like we have to kind of watch a little bit back. So if you weren't there, this is kind of how it went down.
There's a new tweet. Hold on, everybody.
Uh-oh.
That's why I like staying live and long enough to... Wait a second. What is the change? Hold on a second. Okay. This is the tweet. Luke Featherston is Lord Gawain. Callum Kerr is Lord Galad. So now we're back to where we were before.
Was the press release wrong?
Kevin's
Do I
like,
have to redo my video?
Kevin just was like, Kevin's like, I just wrote an article, and John's like,
I spent hours on this, man.
Okay, so let's look at that again. Yes, one more time. Meet the royal family. Luke Featherston is Lord Gawain. Callum Kerr is Lord Galad. No way, intern of chaos. I like just your look on both of your faces. It's killing me.
What is happening?
I think the cut back to you, just like, have you watched it back?
He's right back there. Look at him. He's like right back where he was.
I held my hands up to my face, and you couldn't see it, but like I resisted covering my eyes because I wanted to watch, because it objectively, it's hilarious. It's so funny. I mean, I'm trying so hard not to drop the one F-bomb of the show, because I almost said there, because it is that funny. But in the moment, I was devastated.
Yes, I mean, the range of emotions on the screen there from, Matt. I actually enjoyed how Matt was just enjoying both of you and John and you, just processing what happened. But yeah, that happened. A lot of people were like, wait, how does this make sense now? And I think it was they switched Galad and Gawain. Like, that's all they did. Because if you look at the release, they've changed it back, and Galad is the older brother, and like all the other things where famously handsome Gawain and most protective of his sister Elanyne. Like, that's even though Gawain might not be famously handsome, but sure, like it fit better overall, I think. But yeah, no, that was an interesting morning, and then just making sense of all the theories that you guys came out with, I think was just gold, because I think the first thing, a lot of people were like, oh, like, so we've seen Gawain and not Galad, right? Like we
Right.
in the teaser, right? So this was me, kind of early. I was like, I saw it and I was like, wait, is this happening? Is this is Gawain? And I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I guess it is. That's what they went with. But an hour later, I was like, oh, okay, it worked out fine, because I was like, oh, phew, that like it just like it was just a sigh of relief that this, to try to make sense of this person being Gawain for me was like just not easy. Now the people on the stream, although
Oh no.
Sorry, Kevin. Like
I
this
knew
is
it was coming. I knew it was coming.
This is
It's okay.
gold. You know, this is gold. So
Ah, I'm ready.
I'm pretty sure this is about 30 minutes into the stream, and watch this, guys.
But Beta Chia, I mean, that posture in the trailer is totally Gawain-like.
Oh, 100%.
Now that I think about it, is that?
Oh yeah.
Pure
John,
unabashed confidence. That's what it is.
You were there too, John. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's after the fact. I felt kind of dumb for not realizing it sooner, but I was like, yeah, no, that's totally fair. Makes sense.
You're like, yes, Gawain.
Yeah, Gawa would do the "come at me" sign. Yeah, and
Yeah, come at
Galad
me,
would be
bro.
more like yeah. Galad would just kind of like pose with the sword out, kind of like very properly.
And I don't think Glad would take his shirt off either. He'd be all prim and proper.
No.
He's like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
this isn't a
I just absolutely love, the takes here. They're like, they make so much sense. They're like, I'm like, yeah,
They do.
yeah.
So we're all working very hard on the stream and off. It doesn't matter. We were all working so hard to make sense.
And then about an hour after that, this.
Saying is, we're back here, everybody. We're back here. This.
You're back.
Does everyone
That's
remember?
so
this is-
Galad. Galad would totally take his shirt off.
He'd be, come at me, bro, for sure.
Galad would
Oh my
so
god.
take
Oh
his
my
shirt off.
God.
Yeah.
Retcon it all now. Let's go.
Oh, that's just
By the-
gold.
That was a funny
gold.
stream.
That was gold. I watched it back and I just couldn't, I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, no, this is like the beauty of live shows. You catch the stuff. I'm so glad, Kevin, you're here, and just the kind of you ride the wave up and down, right? And
I'm a new man. I shaved. I showered. I don't even look like that guy in the video. You wouldn't even know that's me. I mean,
yes, yes. I do think, though, I'm going to put this out there. Who is that person more, Gawain or Galad? Okay, the shirtless man in the teaser. Who does he vibe with more? I'm going to end the poll. Who are you most excited to see in season 3 for the new cast announcements? And it seems like, Queen Morgaze, 42%. Yes, Gawain is the lowest polled on there with 12%. But let's ask this. Who? What's the right wording on this? Who is the man, the shirtless man in the teaser most? Who does he most remind you of? Okay, yeah, that's who does the shirtless man in the teaser most remind you of? Gawain or Galad? And this will be telling. All right, let's go for it. I'm not gonna have the four of you give your thoughts on
debase
this.
myself further. Yeah.
Kim's like, but yeah, and then if you haven't watched the stream, go watch it back, because it just the number of outrows in that and encores was just amazing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, let's talk White Tower, right? We know there's a big chunk of story in the White Tower. We've seen it in the teaser, and we knew from Rafe from New York Comic Con last year. Actually, no, it was a Deadline. Well, New York Comic Con last year and Deadline this year. Talking about knowing what Leandrin is up to right up top on season 3, and then the Deadline article talking about the first 15 minutes of women in their 40s and 50s absolutely shredding. There's a bonkers kind of scene, and you got to see this at CCXP, right? So you got to see a couple of scenes. We won't talk about the other one. So we are going to talk about a 5-minute scene which is the cold open of episode 1. Correct me if I'm saying anything wrong here.
Yeah.
And I'll put up the English translation of what you put online, and then we can kind of go over it. But this is taking place at the White Tower. If you don't want to hear, like, if you want like no spoilers and you've kind of saved yourself, and not see this, just fair warning, we're gonna dig deep into this. So let me kind of read this to you all. We are at the doors of the White Tower Hall, where an audience with the Amyrlin will soon take place. Several Aes Sedai are gathered outside, and Leandrin and the voters of Red Ajah are preparing to enter the premises, when they are stopped by Leanyne, who allows only Leandrin to enter, claiming that only one voter is needed in the hall. So that's like kind of setting the scene. So is that like a very quick, like less than 30 seconds kind of thing, or did they what do you remember of that initial kind of?
Yeah, it reminds me of that scene in season 1, episode 6, where they Moraine, it was like Moraine and Alana were coming to the tower hall, and they were stopped by, was that, yeah, they had a conversation. I guess it was leaving the hall after the audience and stuff, and they talked with Leandrin, and then they had a quick conversation there. So it reminded me of that, like maybe a minute or a little bit less, but it was a scene. The Red Ajah approached, and Leandrin was up front. There were a lot of Aes Sedai outside, and then Leandrin stops them and says like, "Oh, only one sitter is necessary. You can't go. You can't. You all." It was like Leandrin and 2 or 3 other women from the Red Ajah, and she was like, "Oh no, just Leandrin. The other ones are unneeded."
Okay. Do you remember if Leandrin said why she was coming to see, or was it just to enter at that point? Because I know in the next kind of scene she talks about that.
Yes, I guess it was about to confront it was a meeting of the hall.
Okay, so
it was something programmed, I guess.
Okay.
And then Leandrin showed up with, but I guess that part, it was a lot of things. I was watching and then worrying about tweeting and getting everything right. So, it's just from memory. But I was like, is Leandrin a sitter of the Red Ajah? I was like, I couldn't remember very well on the show. I guess she isn't, right? A sitter from the Red Ajah.
I'm trying to think, that first scene when Moraine and Alana kind of get, not the first, but, episode 6 in season 1. I don't remember who's actually sitting.
I'm seeing if there's an empty seat at the with
There is not. The only empty seat is green, because presumably Karenni would have been in that seat.
Right. Okay.
But there are 3 reds in the red sitter seats, so Leandrin isn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess maybe I remember the word sitter being mentioned. Like, no, we're full. We don't need any more of another Red Ajah there. Right. So just you, Leandrin, is getting in. But we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah.
But it was a quick back and forth between Leandrin and Lyanna.
Yeah, Leandrin was not a sitter, and so that's interesting, right? So something has changed enough. Maybe even season 2, we don't know. We know Leandrin showed up in Cairhien with that kind of group of people with the Amyrlin, so you could say. Now, I know we'll get into more of what happens next. Was there? Do you remember any White Sisters? That's one question. One thought I always kind of thought of within
inside
that scene.
Yes, inside the hall, like one of the sitters. Yes, I can remember. Like there was a moment where the camera stopped at each Ajah, and then I remember the white ones like very vividly.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I think what happens next is really cool, right? So let me read this next part and kind of go here. So reluctantly, Leandrin enters as Swan is announced. Leandrin begins to accuse Swan regarding the events of last season, to which the Amyrlin responds and accuses Leandrin of being able to break the 3 oaths, as she is from the Black Ajah. And the proof of this is the witness brought there to that hearing, Nynaeve, who Leandrin kidnapped and handed over to the Seanchan. She enters the hall looking somewhat cornered. Swan and the Aes Sedai channel toward Leandrin to stop her and begin to wound her. But the red Aes Sedai fights back and summons other members of the Black Ajah hidden among the voters to help her. And just before we kind of go on from here, I think is this looks like kind of, this is from the teaser. Is this
exactly from this scene?
Okay, so this
Oh,
is
yeah.
okay, so I mean, we know one scene. We've confirmed one scene. All right, there you go. We might confirm more in a little bit. So again, is this a lot of talking between the like Swan and Leandrin here? What kind of scene?
Like Leandrin starts to accuse Swan of the Dragon Reborn chase quest and stuff, but Swan doesn't answer directly though. She can't lie and stuff, so she accuses Leandrin back of you shouldn't like addressing the sitters, you shouldn't believe a word she says because she's able to break the 3 oaths, and to prove that, I have here a witness that was kidnapped by the sister and sent over to the Shanchan to be used as a slave and so on. And then Nynaeve comes in, and then Leandrin doesn't answer. Like she just starts fighting back. Like, of course, Swan channels toward Leandrin, and then Leandrin's like, come out, and the other Black Ajah sisters like start jumping out of among the sitters and channeling. It was really intense. Like we were not expecting that.
Wow,
it was really intense.
Let me go to you, Eve, here. I mean, we didn't get anything to a scene like this in the books where Aes Sedai fighting, like, I mean, again, I'm talking both in the coup and when the Black Ajah, when Leandrin kind of went away. The fact that we're actually seeing like that scene, it's such a good choice by Rafe and Co., right?
Yeah, because it's like an off-screen thing in the book. Like you hear about it after, but you don't see it. No one's like there witnessing it.
Yeah. Is there a specific kind of, like I'm trying to think like other characters you think would be there? So, Leandrin, Swan, Lyanna. Who else? Who else do we think that we know are probably there? Because this seems like a big deal. Can we think of any?
Oh, and Alanna was there as well. Alanna.
Okay, so Alana's in there. Varen, you guys think Varen would be around here?
I don't think she's well. She is not a sitter. She's a homebody. She's retired, so she
Right.
probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Who else do we know? We know. I don't think we know about Joya, right? So Joya,
she is actually in the show. She's the bald.
But
with
is
the
she a
short head,
sitter?
yeah.
Do we know anything about her being a sitter?
I'll check the White
Yeah,
Ajah ones.
thank you, Arosa. Joya, that's the one I thought of too.
Yeah, let me check.
I mean, she hadn't been cast in season 1, right? But she
No.
came
I
in
don't
think
season
so.
2. And we didn't see the sitters in season 2, did we?
No, we did not. And she,
Yeah.
We never
had
saw
3
the
different
hall.
ones,
Yeah.
So it's possible. She
Light
could
blinded
be.
fool. It's the Towers Winter Night. That's
She's one of the Leandrin's like 13, right? Because that
Yes.
was like
Yes.
credence
Look,
to her
yeah,
being there.
yeah.
Yep.
So she's
Joya
probably
is
one of the
definitely
ones that
Um,
fights.
There's another thing I saw here that was where is it? This. I like Arosa, good question. How are the effects like the VFX here, is this from a channeling standpoint? Was there a lot of kind of were you like, whoa, this is way better channeling and weaves than last season?
I guess it was really good, like on par with last season, if not better. Like it was really impressive.
Okay. All right. I think
Considering we had someone cut in half, it was quick. I can't remember which Aes Sedai, like which Ajah. Maybe I remember like a dark cloth, so maybe I don't know, gray or brown that was cut in half, but I'm not so sure. But it was really impressive.
All right. On that cue, let me read that cutting in half. Then begins an insane clash between the challengers, with Alana and Lyanna defending the Armelin against the Dark Sisters, while plots are triggered. Aes Sedai are cut in half, columns of the hall are destroyed, and chaos ensues. Swan keeps the weave on Leandrin. It seems more like she's burning the red than just stopping her, when she's hit by a rock and faints. Nynaeve is in the background. She tries to channel, but as usual, she's blocked and can't help, but she's not hit. And then we see Moraine in the streets of Tar Valon looking at the White Tower at that moment, and we see an explosion coming from there. So I think, this, right? Like, this seems to be her in the White Tower looking. It's raining. You can see on the right there, Lan is there. So is this somewhat confirmation about that? Where the scene is coming
Lan
from?
appears in the scene as well. Moraine is there, and Lan comes.
Okay.
And then we see the White Tower from a distance, and then not the tower isn't exploding. It's just, there's an explosion inside, and one can see the fire coming out. But of course, the tower isn't crumbling down, but it's like an explosion of fire coming from inside.
This is the Hyper Havoc cooler than the Trolloc and the pilot. Hey, the Trolloc and the pilot are probably my favorite VFX the show has had. I mean, season 1, the start of season 1 was, I don't think we've seen the Trolloc that good since then.
What about the season 2 opener? That was like a really nice up close and personal one.
I like my Trollocs kind of being violent. So that's just my a domesticated Trolloc is no fun.
Dream World Trolloc, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin might have given you a hint about his favorite Forsaken, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is funny. Curveball. The explosion is Matt.
They have him in the trailer, stabbing down again.
Yeah.
Explosion.
That was an amazing throwback. Thank you, Nolan Garden there. This Dresser Hill stuff for I'm not gonna go there.
Book 6.
Yeah. But I just want I feel like I've seen more blood in the teaser than remind me. I've little short memory for blood maybe, but was there a lot of blood in season 1 and 2? Eve, do you remember a lot of bloody kind of memories?
I don't think it's a particularly gory show. No, I mean, there's a little bit. I think with the Shan Chan, I think it's probably the most violent it gets. The scene with Uno and things like that. But there's not a ton. So when I saw Aes Sedai getting sliced in half, that was definitely seemed like a bit of change of pace, which was exciting.
Yeah, I mean, just a teaser, right? You see Moraine's blood spray about 3 times. So and Rand being bloody
too.
Yeah. I think the other thing I just thought of, I think maybe Lord Turok, was that bloody?
That was bloody.
That was probably the most bloody thing here.
In season 1, there was cutting off the hands of the Yellow Sister, but we don't see it happen, so it's not as gruesome.
And there's in the 2 River scene at the very beginning, there's some gore too.
And there's Winter Night.
That's true. Winter Night, yeah.
You're right. Okay, I think what I was thinking of really, there you go, Ben. She has so many intestines. I mean, intestines not blood is definitely more. Although gore, yes, intestines is gore, I guess.
Intestines is I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. There's that scene where Maxim cuts off Lanfear's hands. That made it to the what do you call the art?
The concept art.
No, they call it something else. It's Storyboard. Yeah, I think they made it to the storyboard, and that didn't happen. But the storyboard had blood, so yeah. And I think there is concept art of that fight too. but there's actually a storyboard version of it. So
Andrew Berenson is reminding us that Lanfear was covered head to toe in blood in season 2.
Okay,
That
all
is
right,
true.
yeah, okay,
And-
all
okay,
right,
all
yeah.
right, okay.
And
It's
when
nothing
they
like
killed the horse guy.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
Yeah.
that was pretty gory.
Wow.
Exposing
The
the
more
head.
the more I think, the more I'm like, okay,
I'm
every
like,
episode has something
Forget about it.
horrific.
it's like this is a
We just
really
blocked
bloody
it out.
show.
We blocked it
Yeah,
out.
we want more. Can we have more, please?
Like exploding heads, whatever,
There's this one. I'm gonna when Lanfear pops the guy's head like a grape. There wasn't much blood. I think the blood
was
got
dark, too.
It was dark. The blood just got like almost eviscerated. There's the whole was it sliced off or was it blasted off? We did a breakdown on that. It's definitely a more blast than a slice. I think a slice would have had more blood. Matt,
I feel like it doesn't linger on the gore, like we're not
Yes.
getting like slow-mo 10-second shots, but there is a lot of it if you're
Yeah.
thinking back.
I think
Yeah.
that is the
Like-
key as well. Like I have a weak stomach for that stuff, and sometimes Game of Thrones is too far for me. But like you're saying,
Mhm.
they would linger sometimes, and I'd be like, but I think you're right with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's cool that they're going into, not just the gory element of it, but like the actual. They kind of showed with the Sean-Chen and the fight with Rima, and how like that one person was just kind of crumpled on themselves, but like
Yeah.
like just slicing people and shredding. I mean, that has to be the shredding comment, right? And that's just the start of shredding. So if you've seen slicing people, Kevin, like how far does your mind go? Like so that we know this is what happens. What more is happening? Like what comes to your head in terms of how big this fight is?
I mean, you gotta imagine like there's if we have people trying to whip out weaves against each other, there's got to be like some crazy like fireballs being thrown, dissipating, shields being thrown up, weaves of air being cut. I actually I don't know if that'd be interesting to see if the current Age Aes Sedai have any knowledge of like slicing oncoming weaves. I think
Oh,
Lanfear
yeah.
first demonstrates that in the Shadow Rising. But I'm not sure if that's something like she teaches Rand soft, like sort of. So I'm not sure if that's something they would know, but it'd be cool to see that like you see a weave coming and you see them slice through it somehow. And then, try to do counterattacks because it's gonna be, I mean, just imagining like they have the element of surprise. I kind of cartoonishly imagined when you said they jump out from out of nowhere, they jump out from like behind a small rock and then they just start like blasting.
Yeah.
So that's like that's the goofy version in my head until I have the real version to kind of
Mhm.
ground it more in reality. But
Rebecca, do you have any
like a big old Texas shootout.
do you have a wish list of what you want to see in a fight like this?
I mean, I think we see some shredding in the teaser because like it's very quick, but like we see like Leandrin's bloody face and she's like fighting with Alana. So I think that right there,
Yeah.
Leandrin and Alana are clearly shredding each other here. So this was probably like, a couple scenes later after the one that they showed, I'm guessing, within that 15-minute stretch of time, probably.
Yeah, I mean that I feel like is
Yeah,
like
it's-
the actual streets of Tarvalon being shredded.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead, Kelly.
crazy because
Yeah.
they can't like keep it contained in the White Tower. It's like people in Tarvalon are knowing about this happening.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the scene with Leandrin and Alana is I guess 99% definitely after the scene in the hall, because while Swan is channeling, as I wrote on my description, like Swan was not just like stealing Leandrin, she was like burning or hurting her, like really. There's a scene, like a slow motion scene of Leandrin coughing out blood, like a huge amount of blood. It was really coming back to the subject of gore and blood, there's this scene where Leandrin is like coughing blood from what Swan is doing to her.
Could
And
that
then
be
I
why
guess
she has blood all over her face in
Yeah,
that
this.
shot? Is
Yeah,
that like,
this.
okay,
So-
all right, yeah, it makes sense.
hey, if you're coughing up blood, that's not good.
No one makes
see
her bleed
someone,
her own
see
blood like
someone
that,
for
yeah.
that. Please, see someone like myself.
Be a yellow sister.
You see a yellow sister near you, yep. But coughing up a lot of blood. Thank you. Yeah, I like that's. I think I saw this. I think Eve, you put this in chat. I can't find it now, but they're slowly preparing us for someone, right?
I love that scene.
It's Kadir, the Kadir scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
I think
My eyes opened so wide. I'm not anti-gore. I don't read for the gory scenes, but when I get them, I'm like, ooh. And that one just sorry, bad time for you to take a sip. That one just did it for me. It was such an emotional moment for me, as a Moraine fan first, human being second. I was in the trenches, and then just seeing that scene, I was so invested. I really want to see it on the big screen.
All right. Okay. This is our poll. And who does the shirtless man in the teaser most remind you of? Galad. I mean, there's still a 23%. Hey, thank you, for believing in yourself and believing in Gawain, that Gawain can do the. What are we calling this? Is this the come at me? Is that what that?
Come at me, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Come at me. The poll here is I forgot the poll now. I was gonna go with you were talking about Kadir. It slipped my mind. It'll come back. But yeah, I think so. In terms of my kind of wish list is, I want to see like some like white sister, like with weaves of wind or air, like wrapped up and like, just like thrown out a window, like just like picked up and thrown out a window. That would be like comical, but also like just crazy, right? I like that would be the sort of things I want to see. Is just like like taking this to a level that would be like this is serious stuff. These are powerful people fighting.
Does it have to be a white sister?
Why do you say white sister? I say.
Yeah, didn't you say like
No.
like White Ajah? Like
No. And I didn't, but I said, I mean.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I just want anyone to for that to
I
happen.
thought you meant like White Ajah specifically, like F the White Ajah or something.
The blue. Maybe Leandrin does it to the blue. All the blue are just like removed symbolically, kind of, foreshadowing what's going to happen later. Yeah, that's the sort of thing I was thinking in my head. That's a really cool way to start the show, right? We saw the first kind of cold open with Moraine and the Leandrin thing. And I don't ever think of that. I mean, sorry, but like, of the things I think about in the show, like I know of it, but I'm like, oh, that was so cool. The Darkthrone social, it was cool. Was it kind of what I thought it was in the books? But do you agree, Eve? Let me go to you. Like, this is going to be the best cold open to a season till now.
Yes, I think it's going to be explosive and very exciting just right out of the gate. And I am always down to see more magic battles, especially just like Rafe said, like just middle-aged women shredding each other, just going for it. That's what we're here to see, That's exciting. And I agree with you, especially the season 2 opener. I start season 2 and I'm kind of snoozing. And this one, I think we're going to be glued to our screens watching it the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you want to put your best foot forward, right? And the Aes Sedai and like magic and channeling, it's like anyone new coming to this, like someone at CCXP who has not heard about Wheel of Time, and they're like, "Hey, let's show you the first 5 minutes of the show." They're like, "What is this?" Like, as opposed to let's show you people talking with a shaman, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. with not even a Trolloc that like is being violent. Not this makes me sound like I love violence and blood and blood and all of that, and I want more of that. But it's just like putting that kind of this is turn Larry. Swan shoots first.
Yeah, she definitely shoots first. Yeah.
This is good. And she had, you want to put your best half of your body forward. Wow. Yeah. Good. That's
Like
I
even
will
comparing
say,
to season one, the I guess two cold openings we had on season one, like Moraine talking and explaining
Yeah.
about the breaking and stuff, and then cuts to Leandrin chasing the male channeler. It was not the most exciting cold
No.
opening we could get. I guess season three will be the best one we yet.
Yeah. I think this. I'm just looking forward to like people watching something like that and being like, oh yes, like I want to see this, and that maybe goes for the trailers too. The trailer this time too. Just I get it's not the violence. It's just the threat of something like Rosamund Pike being killed, right? Like people want to watch that. Like as much as I mean, they're the most famous movie of not most famous, but one of the most famous movies that she's in shows a lot of that kind of imagery too, right? Yeah, this is. I don't think I'm gonna die. I live this down now. This is like I'm just gonna keep doing this. Pennywog cake lady. Yeah. Yes. Okay. No.
His serial killer drama where he kills only White Ajah.
only White Ajah. Only White Ajah. That's what's happening here. What do they even do? So yeah, I think the only one I didn't show was this. I think the ending. This is maybe the end of the cold open. Now, as we're talking about, bringing that kind of to the end. I would say this would be starts with a lot of fighting, a lot. You see the characters that you care for, returning characters, and then it ends with this, right? Like that would be, I think, a very strong start and the end of that strong start, right? We've talked about this before. We tried we've to a very large extent said that clothing and that shoulder is Maxim, and Alana is upset about Maxim. That's as far as I'm gonna go here. But yeah, does that make sense? This is the end of the cold open, Rebecca.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it looks to me like it's definitely happening. She's wearing the same outfit. It looks like Tarvalon said. So yeah, I mean, I'm less certain about who she's crying over, but yeah, I mean, I think it could be either of them, but yeah, it could be Maxim.
Right. Yeah, I think it's in terms of 15. I think is that Rafe said that, right? Kalyu, They showed 5 minutes, but it's 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a long cold open, and you want to start strong. And I doubt you could start a cold open, go somewhere else and then come back to this fight. I think this is it. This is the whole of the kind of the rift, the Black Ajah kind of breaking away plot. I think some people are talking about I saw Megan, it's Ivan stripes on the sleeve.
There's no stripes on that sleeve.
Yeah, no, you have to. Yeah, you got to convince. You got to send some stuff.
Rebecca's got some evidence. We got Rebecca. What's on your mind?
Okay.
I'm not sure, which one of them it is. But so, I mean, while I definitely think one of them is going down in this first scene, I'm not sure.
Okay.
There is other, I mean, if you look at the cast list for season 3, on the Prime page, Maxim's actor is listed, but the recast for Ivan's actor is not listed. So, I mean, there's just some chance maybe that Ivan goes out quickly and Maxim gets to stay around a little longer.
Okay.
I also wouldn't be totally surprised if she loses one of them in this first episode and another one later in the season. Like she might lose both. I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
okay. Oh,
I've
that's
wondered that as well. Yeah.
interesting. Uh, yeah, no, I think I'm pretty sure I have this. Um, let me show it to you. So sorry, not to. This is just the how we do it here. I mean, if we're talking about it, I'm gonna show it, and I have like, you know, this in my yeah. So okay, all right. Oop, let me show you that. So yeah, so this right here. Let me try to get in there. Okay, so that's the car, sort of, vest there, and the sleeve, the kind of clothing, and if you go look up here, similar kind of um, um, vest, and that. I mean, I think I don't see stripes. I don't have Ivan on here, but it seemed like that's him.
So here's my counter just for fun, because why not? I mean, the sleeve that we're seeing there is not necessarily the dead warrior.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
You know,
That's not. Yes, that is not the. I agree. The theory here is that sleeve belongs to Maxim, not that the sleeve person is
is
hurt.
necessarily
Dead.
dead person.
Yes.
Could
okay.
be they're like right next to each other, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. No. Great.
Because I mean, let's say Yvonne is dead. I mean, Maxim would like go
Yes.
and like hold him, right? That's
and-
what I think.
Yeah, and he's gone. He's on record in the show, like he joined this bond
Yeah.
because he was in love with
Yeah,
with
Ivan is
Ivan.
his like
Yeah.
like
So who would be
main-
more, maybe, I mean, both, but like, like, who might be like holding him? Yeah, it might be. That's, that is, I didn't even think of that. That is, regardless, hopefully no one dies, right? But
Yeah, I mean,
someone's gonna die.
I hadn't entertained that.
Someone's
there's
gonna
some
kill
chat
someone,
in the, there's some stuff in the chat about like when Guy Roberts was on and stuff as well. So that may have alluded to Maxim potentially being in the Two Rivers, which I was not privy to either. So I
Okay.
mean that has me entertaining the idea that whoever that might be. I mean, would she have that reaction if one of her warders lost an entire arm or a leg, or became seriously maimed or disfigured, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
felt that pain through the bond?
yes.
I mean, it's at least I presumed that must be the wail of a person who's experiencing the trauma of the death.
Yeah.
But a physical trauma is felt through the bond as well. So
Maybe.
that's I hadn't entertained that before now. So that's
I like this.
worth
Okay,
considering.
Maxim
Two
lives.
warder death theory. I'm on that
Two
one.
order-
I do think that is still very valid.
All right, okay.
But that is an interesting point.
Eve, who's this? Who do you think this is? Maxim, Ivan, who's dying in this first scene? All right, you gotta choose.
Well,
someone.
Chat said that Maxim's in the Two Rivers, so I don't think that math's mathing. So I'm just gonna go Ivan, but I don't think they're both gonna. My thing is, I don't think they're going to both die in the same scene. I could see them both dying in this
Mhm.
season, but
Yes,
there's no
yeah.
way they're both going down episode
No,
one.
no. Yeah, I think if
Oh.
Ivan's now, then Maxim is dead in the Two Rivers.
Yeah,
Okay.
further down the line.
Okay, all right, Kelly, let me round it out. Any thoughts on?
I guess because of the recast, I would say Ivan, because maybe they changed it. Maybe it was Maxim, but they changed it because of the recast. So it's easier to get rid of a new actor and stuff. But yeah, I guess Ivan. But commenting on comparing the sleeves, maybe yes, Maxim. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I started. I'm a changed man, as the theme is for the day. 10 minutes ago, I was convinced. I brought receipts. I'm like, look, it's Maxim. I still think it's Maxim. But my whole thing of who is dying, I'm on board. I'm on board.
Yeah,
This is good. We're not getting into the whole who's the dark friend in this conversation, because there's a lot there. But yeah, I mean, this is a strong start to season 3. A lot of White Tower stuff again, which has always been one of their the things that they've shown. The other few things that that we know, that again, in my head I was like, how are they going to do this? They showed us this in the trailer, right? We're going to see.
Yeah, I was just thinking about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because when we watched the teaser first, so we saw, Egwene's accepted test and Swan, and then the scene came on. I was like, but how are they? Is Swan gonna die? Is this the cool scene? Like,
Yeah.
is this something else? And then I was like thinking, and I was like, so maybe there's. Of course, it's not the cool scene. It's just the Black Ajah running away, and then Swan's position in the tower will be weakened, and then in the middle of the season or towards the end, maybe the coup happens. Elida comes on and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's like Swan is getting, not the best treatment twice this season for her, but
I mean, last season,
exciting,
starting last season,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, she ends the season with a concussion. She starts the season with a concussion, which is.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh no.
She was on the
Concussion
ground when we last saw her, and now she's like we're gonna see her and she's gonna be on the ground. I don't like that, but
Is Swan like the Elanyne of the show? Because Elanyne is the one who's always getting concussions in the books.
yeah,
She's a secret Drakand.
she's a secret.
Cracked us
Dracan.
wide
I do.
open.
I do think it's important to have a ramping up of the tension with Swan though before the coup, because in the books it kind of comes out of nowhere, which works, but I think that it'll be good to have the tensions in the tower growing for a while before that happens. And based on the teaser, we already have such a sense of dread with Moraine and kind of knowing where she's going to end up at the end of the season, that I think having some kind of parallel with Swan and seeing Elida slowly start gaining control will be really good, because we don't get that in the books until it's already happened, until
Right.
Elida has control of the hall and she has the majority. So
Okay, so
it could also be a justification for Elida coming on, coming back to the White Tower. Of course, she will, she will come with with Gawain and Galad, and say, oh, I came looking for Elanyne and what is going on with Elanyne and stuff. But also she could be coming back, like justifying, oh, I came here because the tower is a mess. The Black Ajah is right up attacking everyone in the middle of the hall. So I came here to to sort things out and stuff, and take power and these kind of things. So I when I thought about that, oh, they are making Swan look weaker. So, and then when the coup happens, it makes a lot more sense, because it
Yeah.
was there's
Yeah,
a
why
payoff
people are
for
following her.
yeah.
no, that makes that totally makes a lot of sense. Let's see. I'm gonna throw this because I showed that Egwene standing to be tested. The question I'm throwing out there, the poll I'm putting up is, will we see accepted test visions? Will we actually see the whole kind of test play out, or are we just going to, Egwene's going to get tested and then Egwene is an accepted now, or is it? Are we going to see? So that what I'm putting here is, will we see any accepted test visions in season 3? And the options are only Egwene, only Elanyne, both, or none. I don't know where Kevin, let me go to you for this. I know they showed us that, but like, will they be how are they going to play this? We already saw some of it last season, right, with Nynaeve?
Yeah, it's interesting because that was actually something I had written off as like something that I was not expecting to ever see. Especially with like the crumb of a hope that you could see Elaine's. So I had long written that off. So that was a really exciting scene, but it did make me think that Egwene's in the books is messed with because she has the stone ring tel'aran'rhiod, and that messes with the testing. So it doesn't end as quickly as it should. But we've already had that trope kind of play out with Nynaeve in terms of having an extended time in there, them not really knowing what's going on. So I don't think they'd rehash that. I almost think that they could play into, Egwene wanting to be the like number one rising star and have it be like, oh my gosh, you finished the accepted test in record time. Like it could be like a clever way of like, skipping, repeating certain beats, but we could still see maybe, snippets of it. Like you can see like whatever she's leaving behind for maybe the first, or she does the first and second one very fast and we just see the last one. Whatever is relevant for where they want to take her for season 3. And maybe she'll get hints about what she wants to be doing for this season and what sets her on her path from those visions. So if we do see anything, it'll be like plot driven in terms of like tying to whatever she's going to be experiencing. For Elanyne though, I had wondered if the crown scene was an accepted test scene. I'd wondered if she had just packed it in her bags. Now I'm also wondering if her brothers or Elida brought it to her as a gift to like bribe her to get her on her side. Kind of, so like it's really muddied for me. I'd love to, but we don't even know what they would have contained in terms of what was written down. I think Nynaeve is just holding her while she's crying when Egwene joins them, and then they have a slumber party of crying and snuggling. So.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm getting a little off track here. I'd like to.
Elanyne,
I don't
you
know
had
what
to.
it would look like, yeah.
Elanyne does that. Elanyne does.
I was
that
following
to
the thread for a second there. Yeah. So I don't know what to expect there, but I think if we do see Egwene, they'll avoid repeating, oh, this is unprecedented. You've been in there for so long and we don't know what's going on, versus she's going to speed run it kind of in a way. That's kind of my guess.
So will she be the fastest to do the accepted test in 1,000 years? Is that what you're saying?
I think that she would love to say that if that was the
Yeah,
case. And I think that Egwene in her mind, what she needs more than anything is, she may not realize it, but she needs a win over Nynaeve. In her mind, not that she doesn't actually need one, but in her mind, she needs a win over her because she's tired of living in her shadow as she sees it. So
Right.
I could see that.
I mean, we're in book 5 spoilers, and that's all I'm gonna say.
That's
You know?
all we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So let's kind of get a. I don't know if you answered that. I felt like you said no, none.
I
don't know
said
what you-
Egwene as little Egwene as they can get away with, and probably nothing from Elanyne.
Okay, but do you think they'll end somewhere mid-season as accepted?
Yeah,
They
I would say that. I would
Tenchiko?
say at least episode 2, episode 3. I would say before
Probably
whenever they end up leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Rebecca, is that you're agreeing with that?
I think it'll be early. Yeah. Like in the first, within the first 3 episodes, I would think. And I'm guessing they would stick with them doing it at the same time, which is how it was in the books. So it gives the opportunity maybe to like go back and forth between them. And like, so you're not showing a lot of either of theirs, but maybe just little bits of both. The crown thing, I mean, remind me, like in the books, is there like a daughter heir crown, or is there just only the rose crown, which you wear as the queen?
Kevin, how well do you know
I'll
your
have to check.
Andoran?
Because if there's, I mean, they could obviously they could add it too, right? Like they could just say, hey, there's a daughter heir crown, and that's what she has. Because if it's the rose crown, like then it seems like a vision. Because why would she have the rose crown?
It is a rose gold color. It is
Yeah.
a rose gold crown as
Yeah,
well.
we
for
looked at the
record.
actual the description of it, and I've forgotten it now, but I don't think it fits as well. From what I remember, someone can correct me. It doesn't fit as well to the rose crown as
I feel
there
like they
actually
could change
is.
the
Okay, so
design
light blinded
very
full.
easily,
Oh, okay.
But
There actually is.
but then again, they could add a daughter heir crown if they wanted to. It just,
But
I don't
that's
know,
the one that
something
has a
about that
large gold rose, which this.
seems a little, I don't know.
I mean, that's okay. This is there's ways they can do this, right? My theory on this, I'll go to the two of you. They could almost end episode 1 with this. Like they show, like this is the end of episode 1. Like, all right, we need you to Swan tells Egwene, hey, you need to do this, and this is and to do this you need to be accepted, and takes her down, and they show this, and that's like the end of that kind of, like they don't have to show it, right? Like they could end it there, and the next episode, yay, you're an accepted, like that is a way to do it. And I like, again, it's a lot of like costuming scenes, to come up with actual believable good visions from the arches, right? I mean, like, are we going to see Gawain? Like, not Gawain. Are we going to see Yosha in those dreams, right? Like, how many different costumes is Yosha going to be wearing, right? I mean, sure, we want to see all of them, right? But yeah, that was one thing. Just maybe a quick yes, no, both from you, Kalyu. Are we going to see accepted testing?
Yeah, I guess I agree with Kevin and Rebecca. Like little bits of both, like glimpses, not too much. Like
Okay.
we already had Nynaeve's
Yeah.
last season, so little bits of both.
Okay. And Eve?
I think that's where I'm landing as well, that it'll either sort of flicker between the two, or that we'll get some Egwene, no Elanyne.
Okay. All right. So I'm the only one who said cut, is basically, I tried to convince you, but I guess I did. Not that I don't want to, like, but I've seen, like, do I want to see those on, sure, they're great scenes, but I think we already got the similar scene, and then we're going to see Rand doing a vision. Although, didn't Rafe say Egwene's doing a thing where she's in a different world?
I think that's Radiant, though.
But why is Egwene doing
Or-
radiant stuff? tel'aran'rhiod. Maybe just tel'aran'rhiod
Yeah,
training.
tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah, maybe it's just
I-
tel'aran'rhiod
we-
training.
We
Yeah.
need to finally get tel'aran'rhiod content, please.
Yes, we need like actual like, the sort of kind of the tutorial like where a master is teaching. I mean, I really have. This is the Vin Kelsier in Mistborn. Like this, like we would need the basics of tel'aran'rhiod,
The big
and
info dump.
and the clothes changing and all of that happening. Like we need to see that in terms of a thing. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. So this is chapter 40 of Eye of the World. A silver filigree cricket held her long.
Circlet.
What did I say? Cricket?
You said cricket on accident, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Circlet held her long red gold curls, and delicate silver rings hung at her ears, while a necklace of heavy silver links and dark green stones he thought were emeralds lay around her throat. Rand is observant. Is this Rand? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Rand is very observant.
And this is when he's like, before he falls from the tree too. This is like when he looks up to see her, and then he's like, then he was like, oh wow, I've never seen anyone except for Moraine dressed like this, and then he falls,
Okay.
off the tree. Yeah.
Good scene.
Or
good
the
scene.
wall rather.
It would be
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
to get that scene. I don't think we can, but that's is an awesome
We
scene.
got our version of that, I think.
We did. Yes, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
I think
always
so as
forget
well, yeah.
that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, there's another scene in the teaser which is in the White Tower, and I have no idea now where this goes. So I need help. Where is this happening, and when is this happening? So
Oh,
this is on first view. You're thinking, oh, is this Elida and some other person? But no, if you actually zoom in on this is Leandrin and Lanfear. And for everyone out there who has been a proponent of the short hair Lanfear tel'aran'rhiod theory, she has long hair. So
yeah.
we've now seen or heard about the first 5 minutes. We've seen the Leandrin's face being kind of burnt. So it's not burnt hair, and she's back on the Amaryllis seat. What is this? And how is this happening if it's not tel'aran'rhiod? Anyone for this one? No? Is this episode
Doesn't really
1?
make a
Okay,
lot
I
of
guess
sense.
it's a
It's tel'aran'rhiod.
yeah.
I
and
don't know.
my first thought was this is how like this is before like that happens.
Uh-huh.
Like this is Lanfear being like, hey, you need to do this. You need to
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like that happens. All right, and this is the hall. This looks like the hall. This is the Amaryllis seat, and there's no destruction here. Like there's no you saw columns being destroyed, right? So
Yeah.
this has to be either a flashback or tel'aran'rhiod. or some sort of vision.
I think.
Moraine's
I mean,
thousand futures.
Leandrin,
Huh.
I mean, Lanfear does visit people in tel'aran'rhiod. Like that's there's precedent, and I think if we're leaning into the theory of Leandrin being a more prominent Black Ajah than she was in the books, maybe knowing, like being higher up, not just knowing her cell of Black Ajah, but more connections. It could be Lanfear trying to give her orders of some sort for what the Black Ajah should be doing in the tower. But once again, since we're starting off the season with the Black Ajah split, I'm not sure how that fits in. So I'm so stuck on this scene.
Yeah.
Dana Lou had a good comment that it's possible that it's not tel'aran'rhiod, but Lanfear entering Leandrin's dream. So like she's like
maybe she has
physically
less
entering.
Control.
Wait.
Well,
Oh,
if she
physically
wants-
entering the flesh. Yeah, maybe.
If she wants to go mess with Leandrin in her sleep, she like just enters Leandrin's dream, and then maybe she doesn't look like her tel'aran'rhiod self. She looks like her physical world self. I don't know, it's just interesting. I mean, because it seems like a dream. It makes more sense. And our only objection to it is that she doesn't look like she usually looks in tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's possible.
So I like how people are like, the short hair thing has to work. So as soon as she goes from tel'aran'rhiod with short hair into a dream, the hair grows. Like I guess
She can have any hair she wants. She's a
I know, but
forsaken.
I know, but I don't know. Do you who here believes the short hair Lanfear equals tel'aran'rhiod theory?
It has been consistent, but like then again, another comment, Rapunzel saying that Lanfear was in Rand's dreams in season 2. That's correct. So there's a scene that's not tel'aran'rhiod, it's her in his dream, and she looks like Selene. She looked like she was looking at the time as Selene. She did not look like tel'aran'rhiod Lanfear. She looked like the way she was presenting herself in the world.
Okay.
That's a fair
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah. So this is.
Thank you, chat, for
Yeah,
solving
no, this
for
this
us.
is this is interesting. I still think this is just tel'aran'rhiod. Like, why go into her dream? Like, maybe just pull her into tel'aran'rhiod. Because can Lanfear, can you do that? Can a dreamer pull someone, or I don't know. I always someone.
You can pull them into a dream shard because you can pull them into a dream
like
shard.
Rand.
That's what
Yeah.
Ishamael does.
Yeah.
Ishamael does that in Iron World,
Yes.
obviously a ton. But you can't.
Yeah. Although
It's
that
like you have to enter their dream and draw them in.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's kind
Although
of like,
the mechanics of that, I think in the first book were never
little
really
hazy, yeah.
explored afterwards, right? And I don't know. We always talk about dreamers and dream walking and things like that. And was Ishamael an actual dreamer? Yeah, Matt, you're saying yes. I don't know what you're trying to say.
there's a stream delay.
But yeah, no, I think to maybe make this simple, and I guess let me end our poll here. Will we see any accepted test visions in season 3? Only Egwene is strong, like 50%, and 36% both. A very 10% say none, and only Elanyne 2%. Was that you?
It wasn't even me. No, I voted for only Egwene. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know.
Let me throw this up. This poll. Where are Leandrin and Lanfear meeting? Callie, any thoughts while I put this up? I'm going to put Tar as tel'aran'rhiod and Lanfear's dream? No, Leandrin's dream. Pulled into a dream. Pulled into dream. If you're asking if someone who knows how to pull someone from their dream into tel'aran'rhiod, yes, that's possible. Yes, yeah, okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I thought that was possible, but yes. Pulled into Leandrin's dream? Is that what we're saying? Right? But you don't you? If you
Well,
go
that
into
makes it
someone's...
sound like Leandrin's pulling Lanfear, which is
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Lanfear, if this is any dream-related thing, Lanfear is doing it in
She's
some
in charge.
way. Not
Dream
Rand.
shard. Okay, dream shard. Pulled into dream shard. Pulled
That's
into
fair. I think it's fair.
into so just tel'aran'rhiod, tel'aran'rhiod proper.
A partition.
Yeah. Pulled into Dream Shard. What are the other thoughts? Kelly, do you have any thoughts? What else could this be
Yeah, I
other than
guess
Dream?
the scene screams like Dream because Leandrin's sitting on the throne. She has the Amerlin stole here. It looks like the Amerlin stole, but
Yeah,
as Rebecca said, the show has been very consistent with Lanfear's haircut with dreams, reality. So yeah, I guess I don't know why they would, but as like I'm thinking, the show tends to simplify a lot of the lore. So why they would um, introduce the concept of dream shards, or not introduce, because I guess they wouldn't talk about it, but why put that on the show and not just giving Lanfear her short hair, to make it clear that it's a dream. So I don't know how they're going to explain it, but yeah, I guess it's a dream shard, or tel'aran'rhiod, or something.
I mean, so someone's also pointing out, like, if Leandrin were to dream about Lanfear, she would see her more like that because that's how she has seen her. She's seen her with long hair.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it's probably Lanfear messing around with Leandrin's dream, and her appearance has more to do with how Leandrin sees her than anything, maybe.
So there is one. This is just a dream. This is a Leandrin dream, like that. That's all it is, and Lanfear is influencing it, right? She's just influencing it in some ways. So yeah, let me put that in. Is there another choice here? I do have a choice that I'm going to put in there just for fun for me. But if there is a fourth choice, I would happy to put that in.
Here's one. It's a fake scene, like Egwene's pool.
The thing is, this could be like this.
That
could
was
be
a
like
real
the
scene.
I know.
This
There's
could
a
be.
comment from chat that I like.
I know.
Okay. The only way, you can pull me to the Egwene accepted test. The only way we get visions is we use that scene again. That's where we see her, and they bring back the pool scene as part of her visions in the Arches.
It's her past.
Yeah,
theme.
that's the only way I'm accepting Egwene's testing. All right, I'm just gonna go with what I put. Fake scene is a really good one, though. I'm not gonna put it in there. It's really good. I do not fake, but like I didn't make it. But they were like, that's a cool one for people to think about. Let's put it in there. Okay. Deleted scenes. So that's good. All right. I think I think those are all the. What did I do there? Not that. Those are all the. Oh no! Of course, there's only one more White Tower scene. Well, I think two. We kind of talked about this one. I'm going to show it just for showing it, right? That one. That's the White Tower. And we talked about is that real? Is that a dream, or a vision, an Arches type of thing? But the one, I think the talk of today is this one, right? Let's look at that. The White Tower, the warders training, and a member of the royal family of Andor is how I'm going to name this person. So I think that is definitely White Tower, right? When do we think this is happening? Is this, at some point we know some members of the royal family of Andor are going to be at the White Tower. Is this like early, like episode 2, 3? Is it beyond that? Eve, do you have any thoughts when? Because even going further, like if we're going to talk about this actual scene, if this is the Matt scene, when does this take place as far as the season goes?
I think it has to be early. I think that everything converges in Tar Valon at the beginning of the season, and then people are going to quickly shoot off on their own plot lines. So I think anything that happens with this mystery brother, with Matt, or with Egwene or Elanyne, has to happen pretty early. Episode 1 seems a little stacked, but maybe episode 2, we'll see.
Yeah, this might be like the episode 2 kind of moment where you're like, oh, this is like the fight. Yeah, believable, Kelly. We're gonna get the Matt versus the brothers fight. Is this it? I mean, does that look like?
Like the Matt story, the Matt plot line is always a wild card because since the actor changes, it's been they they're trying to figure out where to insert Matt. I guess maybe this season it will go a little more smoothly, but I don't know. Something else I was thinking about is Moraine is watching the turmoil with the
Yeah.
Black Ajah in the beginning of the season. So does she come back for Swan? Do they meet? Like, does she? Because I guess like from the scene we got, it seems like Moraine was heading off. Like she was leaving the inn she was in with Lan and maybe Rand, and then she was going off, leaving Tarvalon. But Egwene is still there, and presumably Egwene is coming with Moraine and Lan and Rand to the Waste. So where does Moraine stay like until she goes to the Waste?
Right here, right here.
Of
I
course,
think
and
that's a good
Egwene
place.
and then Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how
That's
do they
what I've been
communicate?
saying
I'm
too.
thinking about that.
Eve, you have thoughts about
Always
this?
thinking about that.
I don't know if I do have thoughts because my brain just goes every time I see that image. It's actually the lock screen on my computer right now too, so I stare at it a lot. But no, I do have thoughts, and those thoughts are that I think we need something between Moraine and Swan. Otherwise, I will be finding Rafe's house and toilet papering it. And it has to be early because Moraine's leaving, and then, as we know from the teaser, things are not going to go super well for her by the end of the season. And so I think that if there is a Moraine Swan reconciliation, it has to be early before she leaves and before Swan also starts having a terrible time.
I mean, episode 1? Are we
I
thinking
think
Swan
episode
Moraine
1.
is episode 1 makeup?
That being said, I don't know that the fish hut scene is real.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
All right, Rebecca, you
this
look like you
is
have
one of the ones.
you
I
have strong.
have, of course, I have thoughts about this, obviously. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I'll be a little mad if the fish hut thing is like completely not real at all.
I mean, I'd be mad. I just wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
what makes you mad if it's not real or if it's land fear?
Well,
Well, no, I do. I think it would be land.
the
well-
Leandrin thing is happening for sure.
Well, yeah.
Not about that. But it's more so. Okay, I would be mad if we don't get something real between Swarine at some point. That's
Yes.
really well. So that particular scene, if that's not real, that's okay as long as we get something else that's real.
A resolution of or like the resolution of a plot, if not
needs-
anything else.
Yeah, they need to have some real interaction because they're left in a completely unresolved place, and we can't have them go through this whole season and like just not pick that thread up again at all, I don't think. In terms of them having like, I don't know, episode 1, or if they were to interact, and I mean, you either have they have a very like tense interaction because of where they left off, or you're confirming people's crackpot theories that they are like only pretending to
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if they have an early interaction, it would be like very tense, I would think. And then something that's more I don't know, reconciliation of any sort seems like it would have to come later in the
Right.
season if it was
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah, no, that it'll be interesting how they play that, because you're right, it's important. You know, they're big characters, they're big actors, and the most watchers are gonna think back and be like, oh, what happened with this storyline? I'm glad you brought that up, Calio, in terms of like what is the Moraine angle that it made me think of it was Moraine and Lan. Was there any indication that there were other people there too? Was were the whole
No, it was really quick.
Yeah. Okay.
We got only like Moraine and Lan, and then the tower, and then
That's
black
it.
screen.
Okay. Do you think, just from a kind of a prediction standpoint, do you think Rand, Matt, they're all there with her, and this is all of them have come back to the White Tower?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, what did Yosha say? He said they're home or like something like that at the start of the season.
As close as home could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a facsimile of home kind of thing.
Yeah, and that makes me
things have changed too.
things
Yeah.
have changed. Yeah, it makes me think like they're all together. So if
Yes.
Moraine's mom, like, well, Nynaeve's mom, maybe, I don't know, but however you look at that,
Nynaeve's big sister.
yeah. I think it definitely there is. I'm excited. If they're all there, that's really cool because that means that this scene is also. This is probably not the best picture of it. This is also Tar Valon, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I would say so.
Like this
Yeah.
is maybe this is the end of the first episode, right?
Bubble of evil.
The bubble of evil happening, and if this Tar Valon, is this also like early, the end of this is how the episode ends. This again seems like a really cool moment of showing. I like this by AR324. I think home could be the threefold land. That's an interesting thought there. I think there's I don't think there's too much more from the trailer itself. The one thing I had that I wanted to mention is where is it? There's this the Jane scene. Yep. This is a script that What Series gave us, which seems like related to the Black Ajah kind of thing happening with a sister with the name that starts with J. And What Series thought it was Jane, which was one of the 13 from Leandrin, the 13 Black Ajah. So you haven't seen audition scripts and you don't want to, do step away. But this is a Warder and Jane, and let me read this for you and kind of get your thoughts on this. Warder, Jane, are you hurt? I felt you. Jane, I told you there were dark friends at the tower. Warder, but surely not all these men are. They're not. Jane, you misunderstand, my love. I'm the one sworn to the dark. No, darling. Fighting won't help now. Nothing will. A lifetime of training with your shiny swords, and what's it come to? Incapacitated by a mere fraction of a droplet of my power. The very idea that we require protection from you is insulting. Warder, I loved you. Jane, I know. Kills him. Oh yes, I can feel it. Thank you, my love, for this final gift. This seems like, is this also part of that 15-minute cold open? Like if this made it onto the screen, there's like so much. I mean, 15 minutes is a long time, right? But like, where else would this happen? Because they're talking about the tower. So I was like, oh, this is an interesting, like, how do they put that in there too? It'd be interesting. Kelly, do you think the tone of this, did you get a sense of colors of the Black Ajah, in terms of, or number, was it like,
I guess like I can remember like 2 or 3 with Leandrin, like appearing, but I'm not sure. The colors, I don't remember the Ajas they were from. Yes, this scene, I don't know, it would be a weird place to introduce a new Aes Sedai. Maybe Jane is just a code name for somebody else, but I couldn't figure out who. But I don't know.
It's a strange kind of thing, to show that. Now, if this happens later, it would be also, this could be like the breakaway from the tower and happens afterwards, like outside of the tower, and they're like, oh, we escaped this, and it's like the warder thinks they were fighting the Black Ajah and they escaped or something, and this happens as part of that scene, and she meets up with Leandrin afterwards. But it's interesting always, this is a pretty intense scene between two characters that we don't know anything about, we've not seen before. So I don't know if this actually makes it through. Speaking of things that don't make it, might not make it through, this was the other. Now this is taking us back 2.5 years. This is again an audition script from what series? From 2.5 years ago. This is Gawain. At least they thought it was Gawain.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some person talking to Gawain, saying, "No, I'm sorry. I told Alana nobody younger than me." So maybe Maxim or Iwan, and basically the whole thing makes it sound like they're at the White Tower talking. So and there's talk of Moraine, and after all, I am a Damodred. So there's like stuff here that makes me think, what is going on? And when the flip happened with the casting this morning, I'm like, is this actually Galad? Is this Gawain? Is this even real anymore? Was this something written 4 years ago and it's not real anymore? It's interesting to go back to some of these audition scripts and being like, how does this fit in? Is this like something that happens just before that that scene that we see in the teaser? Yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking back to some of these. Most of them, I mean, you have to give not credit, but just a lot of these make it through kind of how they are. The Perrin and Avienda scene always comes to mind, right?
But they had another one that didn't. There
really?
was two Perrin and Avienda audition scenes that Watt series had, and one of them did not make
Yes,
it in.
I think it's one where like someone had died.
They're talking about more about
Giotto, maybe?
No, they're talking about his wife. They're talking more about her, and she's kind of like talking to him about like how she's a fighter and basically
yeah.
I don't know. There was a whole thing that would have been interesting, but it didn't make it in.
Like maybe this was in a mirror world where Luke Featherston was playing Gawain. Yep, that definitely. That's Galaint. Some mirror world for sure where this happened. It's all right. Things that we're getting towards the end of our show here, and I want to talk about White Tower plot that you are most looking forward to something maybe we didn't talk about that you're most looking forward to seeing in season 3. And Eve, let me start with you.
Elida, gonna be predictable.
Okay.
She's my fail wife who I love. I think that I'm not sure what direction the show is going with her, if it's going to be close to the books or if we're going to get character merging or what's going to happen, but I am very curious to see how the tensions in the tower progress and how she slowly gets people to her side, since like I said, that's something we didn't really get in the books. And I just love Elida. I'm interested to see if she's going to be as I'm trying not to say anything past book 5, which is hard. So maybe I'll just shut my mouth. But
no, let's go full book spoilers here. Let's do it. Just because we're getting to
Book
the end.
10. Book 10.
Book
Sorry,
10.
yeah.
Book 10.
I don't have a. I'm gonna keep the banner the same, but it's book 10. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I love about Elida is how competent she thinks she is versus how competent she actually is, which is not really at all. And she kind of just fails again and again. And I don't know if Shore has an incompetent bone in her body, but I am excited to see if she can do that, or if we're going to get some weird Elida Alviarin merge, or what's happening there. I just have a lot of questions. No answers from the trailer. I was trying so hard to find Elida, and nowhere to be found. So
All right.
that's what I'm most excited for.
That begs the question. I'm going to throw this poll up here. Where are Lanfear and Leandrin meeting? tel'aran'rhiod, 46%. Leandrin dreaming, about 32%. Pulled into a dream shard, 10%. And the gap of infinity. And because we're talking book 10 spoilers. The gap of infinity is not I'm not going to say it's not a real thing. It's something the fans came up with to describe the place Egwene would go when she would see everyone's dream. So that kind of in between place,
the universe map thing.
The universe map. The universe map was kind of the I can never say that word.
Colloquial.
Yes, yeah. It was called the Gap of Infinity, and I think there's a I think it was Matt who said that to Robert Jordan, and he was like I was not amused by thing. I could be making this up, but this is kind of the memory that's coming to me. But the Gap of Infinity is that. I'm going to throw up. When will we see Elida? I think that's the question, right? What episode will we first see Elida? I'm going to ask for 4 people, 4 choices. Eve, episode. So you have to kind of come up with a different
3.
3, okay, all right. Callie, when do you think we're seeing Elida?
Yeah, I would say 3 as well.
Okay, all right.
'Cause I want more time with Shoray. She's so good.
Okay, all right. Kevin?
I'll say cold open flashback episode 2.
Okay, episode 2. And Rebecca?
I was going for episode 2 also.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go.
Those are your choices, chat.
This is my third option for you, Amazon, to how to end episode 1. Shoray arrives to the White Tower.
That works too. I mean, I would not say no to
this would be funny, right?
Quickly as possible.
my three like ways to finish episode 1 are totally wrong. I'd love to, it's not Egwene.
Just keep guessing. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'll get something right. But that would be cool, right? You want to see like the big actor show up at a major moment. So it has to be the start or an end of an episode, right? Like Logain did in whatever
Episode 4.
4?
Yeah, episode 4.
End of 3.
3.
Yeah, end of 3.
End of 3, yeah.
3 into 4.
Yeah. So, but 3 was like where it's like, oh, who's this, right?
Yeah.
And he's a huge actor, right? So maybe end of an episode. I'll put that out there. Callie, biggest White Tower thing you're looking forward to seeing, something maybe we haven't talked about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Elida as well because I love The Expanse, and Shoray plays Avasarala, who is my favorite character in that saga. So seeing her here in the Wheel of Time is just amazing. So I'm just excited for her to be coming on the show and shredding with words. Shredding other people with words this time. So yeah, Elida, it has to be Elida for me.
Yeah, Elida makes me think of like Darth Vader almost. Like I don't know why. Like that kind of like that the presence, the screen presence of a strong voice, because the voice is almost more important than like you can hear that voice anywhere and you're like, oh, that's Vader and that's Shoray, and like not Elida, but yeah, I guess I was going more Shoray than Elida there. Rebecca.
I mean, that's really my answer legitimately is the same, but I will give a different answer because, I think we should mention some other things. So I am interested to see how like the hunt for more Black Ajah goes. So after a bunch of Black Ajah have left, right? So presumably like Swan recruiting, Egwene, Nynaeve, maybe Elanyne, in the way that she did, that would be interesting. But I would also, I'm hoping we get more of like, okay, there's like, wait a minute, are we still, what
Book
books
10.
are
Book 10.
what books are-
Book 10.
We're
We're book 10.
Book 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in then since we're book 10 at this point. Like later we get other Black Ajah hunters, and like I wouldn't mind if we kind of like set that up earlier maybe. So I don't know if we will see more than just like the three that are going to be out of there like immediately.
Yeah.
My little pet theory is that we're supposed to see Rima return in this season, and it's a bit unclear what she's going to be doing, but she was one that was told about Leandrin being Black Ajah. And like I could see like Nynaeve and Elanyne vouching for her. Like, so she's to me is a natural Black Ajah hunter if they're gonna bring her back in. And I love her character and would love to see more happen with
Yeah.
her.
And we know the cast, the actor is in
That
season
Watt
3.
series says she's back.
Yeah.
So
If Watt series says it, even if Amazon says like no, I don't.
we don't believe that.
We don't
No.
believe that.
And Sarah Nakamura waffled a question about specifically about Rima
Okay,
as
there
well.
you go.
So.
There you go.
I want all the Rima, so just
Yeah.
give me all of it.
So okay, all right. That's a cool one, Kevin. I don't know if you have too much there to work with in terms of what are you looking forward to seeing?
I think I've managed to cobble something together, and I think it's kind of I want to see what that almost like homage to the Stone of Tyr looks like in terms of the start of the season. Like, is Perrin in an inn, and that's where he hears about White Cloaks in the Two Rivers? Does Matt run into Tom in a bar in Tarvalon? Do Rand and Elanyne make kissy faces in a corner at each other? And is Egwene there too? Do they have that kind of conversation? So I think understanding how they're established in Tarvalon will be really exciting to see, because then you can try to like envision, okay, how are they going to fulfill that scattering out? They're all here, but they have to all separate. And what does that look like for the Tanchico party? What does that look like for the Isle Waste party? And of course, Two Rivers. So I think that understanding what the impetus is, that kind of pushes them all to say, all right, our little vacation is over. We have to kind of actually all get back to work. I think that's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, that is, I think, so many cool things to happen in the White Tower. The coolest thing I thought we got in season 2 from the White Tower was the Brown Ajah detectives. So I
was gonna say Yasuko would be a great Black Ajah hunter.
Yeah, I thought getting those those characters that were new, that
Jessica and Rima team it up.
compulsion. There was the compulsion talk, right? So something to come out of that was my favorite. I mean, episode 5 is my favorite from season 2, so it would be cool to see that. But the cold open, thank you, Kelly, that is amazing to hear. Firsthand experience watching it, but there's more. So even you're sitting down, you're like, okay, I know this, but you're like, I am waiting to see what happens next in those.
There was coward to cut off at that point. It was insane. People were screaming, like the reaction was amazing. So, and Rafe, Yosha, and Madeline, they were really, I felt that they were really happy to be there, excited. Rafe mentioned at one point that they were like touring the Wheel of Time during the pandemic, and then the strike. Then like they hadn't had a normal season, a normal touring period, and so I guess for them it was really exciting as well. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, they looked like they were having like a lot of fun. Yosha in particular was glad to like meet people and do that. I mean, not that other people didn't, but yeah, that was really, really, really cool to see. And hey, I think I'm going to end this poll here for Elida. I think there's one more poll that I'm going to do and start our giveaway for tonight. It seems like episode 2, episode 2, about 50% people want to, get episode 1 done and then see Elida show up. I think this is where the hopefulness or the clownfulness of fandom is there. Will we see those 5 minutes before March? What is it? March 13th. 5 minutes from episode 1 cold open before March 13th.
Can you imagine they add that to the end of episode 8? of
I
season
mean-
2.
I mean, they've done this. They've done this. They've done this.
I
So
They did
love
do
that,
that,
but
so
they-
maybe actually.
will we
That's
see
the only
this on-
possibility.
there you go. I'm just saying, yeah, you're right. You know, in terms of showing exclusive scenes like the Elanyne and Matt scenes that were never shared anywhere else. Let's see.
Just
what
in the
people-
show. We all saw him in the show.
Yes, yeah.
For the record.
Never saw them ever.
That would be really cool. It's like, you know, they like the Egwene pool scene was only seen at a panel.
Yeah.
And never
yeah,
else
yeah.
and nowhere else. All right, I'm gonna open a giveaway here. If you've stayed this long, a giveaway for a Dusty Will mug. Put exclamation point raffle in chat for a chance to win here. And I don't think I've sent a mug for about a month or maybe 6 weeks. Just life things happen. I mean, the teaser happened. It was how long ago was that? It feels like it was
I'm
like
busy.
2 months ago or something.
It was like less than 2 weeks ago.
I know.
I was like,
So long
It's
ago,
crazy.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so next, I mean, are we gonna get no What Wednesdays for 2 weeks? Is that what's gonna happen? Is that how
I'll
it's
check
looking?
I'll check the prophecies actually.
Yeah, I mean, no, it is March, not March, December 25th and January 1st. So
So we need some presents for those days. So.
yes, yeah,
we need
do.
first look at Elida. That's what we need.
Okay.
First look on the first.
First look on the first. Okay, all right. What's
We're
the
Are you watching Hollywood?
yeah? What's the next week's drop? Let's predict. What are we getting
What would
next week?
be
Shirtless
our-
Gawain to go with shirtless Galad.
Hmm.
Would not be a good present for me, but
For
I
a
know
second,
lot of
I'm like,
people
we
would be
got
happy.
shirtless but we got shirtless going. Like it took me a second to get there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Oh
if
yeah,
they
some
gave us-
Aiel casting would be great though. Go ahead, sorry,
Gall.
Rebecca.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was just gonna say if they gave us just a still image with Gawain, Galad, and Matt, we'd all lose our minds. So
Mm.
they just need to do that. That's it. That's it.
That's all we need. Yes, that is so true. Yeah, ultimate optimism. Yes.
I'm going with
Uh,
Aiel. I think some Aiel would be awesome, like a wise one or a clan chief, something like that. That'd be great.
That works.
Yeah.
Take it.
Like if this happens, Matt's not getting this until he sends the fact or crap mug to whoever won that. So once that person has gone the fact or crap mug, I'll send one to Matt if that happens. Ooh, I mean, guys, Fail, right?
Oh,
Fail would be
that's it.
great.
That's it.
That would
Yes.
be it.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
Two Rivers people. Key Two Rivers people would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
We need that. A redstone doorway. Hey, the winner, right? That's a winner. No.
I'm just saying it's pushing up on Waygate territory. I'm just a little anxious about that,
is
that's all.
this like is this like a thing? Like
It's a
are you
rivalry,
are you
yeah, you
threatened?
know.
Are you threatened by Amis
I
and
mean, we've
Ruark?
had a big stone a big stone gate for the past 2 seasons. Why isn't that enough? It's always got to be a red one. Why does everyone always care about that? Jeez.
Origins is that
Oh yeah, we'll get Origins
Korean?
next week.
Yeah, no, Fail would be a cool one. All right, I'm gonna pick a winner here. Let's see. Close entries. So yeah, let's pick a winner. Rain, you have won a Dusty Wheel mug. You know how to get in touch, and I will get that for you. Sorry, Matt. It's not like I could cancel out anything. I have no control over this, really no control. Yes. All right. I think that's everything. I don't know if you have anything planned. Innkeeper, do we have anything planned? Maybe Sunday. Yes. Now that I think of it, we spoke yesterday. Sunday, look out. Maybe we're doing a show on Sunday. I don't know when, but we're definitely thinking. We're definitely thinking about that. So in the next 10 days, we'll do a show. Let me put it that way. Okay. We'll do a show in the next 10 days. Matt will do a show. No, we'll do a show in the next 10 days for sure. We're going to do, the things we have planned just to show everyone is there's the essential Tanchico, kind of, plot that we have to look at. We have to go back to the Two Rivers, talk about speculation there, and then the visions in Rhuidean. I need to update all of this to show stuff that we know what the Two Rivers looks like, and if there is something, okay. What I want for Christmas is a 4K teaser. Like, if nothing else, just give us the 4K version of everything you've given us. Like, if nothing else, that would be awesome. To put some things to bed, right? Like, there's so many things that we're still not able to look at, and that would be cool. So that's my. I think I went too low there, but that's maybe setting the bar low in terms of expectation. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Our two first time guests, Eve and Kalyu. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a lot of fun. And we'd love to have you back. Someone, if they haven't already, throw People of the Dragon. Do you have anything planned over the next kind of couple of weeks or so? Or is it more depending on what comes out?
Not. Yeah, it depends what comes out.
Yeah.
We're preparing, seeing ways of making better live streams yet.
Okay.
Until the next teaser or the next trailer comes out. So
Yeah.
we're just more on Twitter. We're more active on Twitter these days.
Okay. All right. Definitely give them a follow. We'll put it in the show description of People of the Dragon. And thank you, Ben and Chiad. That's the YouTube channel. I'm gonna give it a go. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna have you say it the way it should be said. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's Povo do Dragão. Povo
right,
do Dragão.
Yeah, I feel like I could have done that like 70%. But
Yeah.
Eve, are you anywhere in terms of being followed, or are you on Discord? Is that where you're kind of hanging out mainly?
Yeah,
Tumblr?
so far I have not succumbed to the allure of Twitter. But it's probably going to be
blue
soon.
sky.
Blue sky. The
I
sky.
know.
The sky is
I will.
bluer on the
I
other
probably
side.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not. It feels like a social media, boundary that I haven't crossed that I feel kind of proud of. But Wheel of Time season 3 speculation is all there, so
Come.
I'm probably going to be jumping ship. But yes, I
Yeah.
am on Discord. I'm on the Dusty Wheel Discord. Feel free to DM me or talk to me. And then also my Tumblr, which I will not encourage people to follow because it's mostly like
Yeah.
silly meme posts and me live
following
blogging the
you
books.
immediately.
But I will be live blogging book 11 starting in like 2 weeks on Pillow
All right.
Friends.
Okay.
If you feel like tuning into that.
All right.
Any spaces or dashes in the name? Just
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I was really proud to get that one. I think I've made Pillow Friends like a thing in my friend group who has not read Wheel of Time. Like instead of saying like Friends with Benefits now, we all just say Pillow Friends. And I'm pretty proud of that being my legacy,
That's good. Rebecca, you have anything planned? Are we reading the pattern? Are you?
I'm gonna try. I've had technical difficulties. I did actually film something for the teaser and then I scrapped it. But I have some things that I'm gonna try to do if I can do it without my microphone. So maybe.
All right, cool. I did see some What Idol stuff that you contributed to last.
Yeah. Well, I did a little bit here and there. But as I usually do, like after What Idol live stream, then I just like write some parodies. So I have like 3 parodies written.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I need to get my microphone working before the next What Idol. So
Yeah. And Kevin, you're planning any articles? Are you okay? Are you gonna start writing art? Like, how do you feel about writing articles? 12 hours
it
later.
was stressful. It was stressful in the moment because Bane and Chiad and Michael, who went to CCXP as well, they typically are the ones that write the articles for the write-ups that we get. There's a couple other Dragon Mount people that do as well, Katie as well in particular. But so they were both busy, and I was like, you know what? You don't get a chance to offer volunteers something like that very often. I was like, and it's the Tracans. I've got the whole Elanyne thing, Like,
Yeah.
it'd be a fun write up to do. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was pretty stressed, but I will say, and I didn't actually post about this yet, but I wanted to thank her. I actually based my outline on the way that Erie for Watt Series formats her articles. So I looked at a few of hers where there were multiple castings revealed, and I kind of looked at the way she did it, and I got a feel for a way to format it in a way that I thought that was a fun way to write it that could have a little personality but still be pretty professional. So I mean, it's all moot now because half of it was wrong. So whatever.
I loved reading it. I mean, I read it and I said, it's just like in posterity, like just looking at some of that stuff is just amazing. So, I for one am looking forward to more Kevin Angus, and come out in a different way, obviously.
Maybe the next one will be better.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you, the four of you, for hanging out. Thank you for throwing people's. I like this. Max plays games. Kevin can write an article.
Max knows me.
Only communicated in memes. Yes. There you go. Follow all these wonderful people on social media or wherever they are. And we'll be back sometime. I'm thinking Sunday, but we'll see how it goes. But as we say around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel and Smash the Black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you, you're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not wearing one.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, consider why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
Harold, baby face mounted on a huge body. So all of a sudden,
this is not just a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
and
elements.
just a moment ago,
kind of
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
probably I would say put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you, you're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not wearing one.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, consider why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
Harold, baby face mounted on a huge body. So all
this
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
wow.
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a moment
for those that are
ago,
kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
probably I would say put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.
All right, sorry, I had to come back. Matt's on the line. Feel free, our guests. I know it's late. if you want to leave, I know it's late into the night. Innkeeper, are you with us?
Thought this was a call and talk show. Glad you came back. That's good.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make them. I always feel like I come back too soon. So this time, I felt like I waited too long. So I need to find that right kind of point.
I feel like you took that poll a little bit too personally, and you made them wait so everyone would leave before you brought me in. That's how it feels.
So will we see those 5 minutes from episode 1 cold open before March 13th? It's 43% of people are hopeful that we will. I
mean, they didn't ever drop those other scenes. So they gave us the scene. I guess we got to show one of them at WatCon, but they never shared those. That they only let the people watch it near Comic-Con. Did they, or did they eventually do it? I can't remember.
Just in the show, man. Just in the show.
Just in the show.
But I think you made a good point, Kevin, when you said, like, because if it really is the first scene, they did add the very first scene of season 2 at the end of season 1, episode 8, eventually. So that's a pretty compelling argument that we could get that one. Otherwise, I would have
That was like a month out from premiere as well, so we would have that maybe February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it like the full thing to us, right? Like. I could see that. I could see the month out kind of kicking out, because how far out is the main trailer in season 1?
Around a month as well.
Yeah,
a little bit over a month. Yeah,
it was only a month. I thought it was more, but
it was close.
So
it was pretty close.
I think 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks, because it was November 19th, right? And it was October 23rd, maybe. I think that's kind of what I'm remembering. Which is maybe.
Okay, I should remember that date.
Season 2 was closer to a month.
Season 2 was like mid-July to September 1st. So it was definitely longer.
I could see like a 6 weeks out trailer, and then the 4 weeks doing the, cold open. I could see that possible.
10 seconds of that cold open at the Super Bowl. Would you take that?
I'll take it.
Which 10 seconds? Okay,
I
Callie.
I feel like if you do a Super Bowl commercial, you're greenlighting season 4.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because you're really going to spend that money if you're not going to go any further after the season.
It's the slice, the person getting slice. That makes it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Any thoughts, Matt, from today? I know we do our we do this now. I guess.
Just that it was.
You want to talk about Gap of Infinity?
By the way, it was my fellow Innkeeper's idea to come back in and at the end of the last episode, the last show
this morning.
And,
I didn't think you would do what you did.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Well, I took your idea, and then I was like, I'm just going to keep coming in, coming back. I should have kept going, but I literally needed to get to work. I saw like an email from work, and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to go take care of something. So 4 felt enough. No, I'm just to Kevin. Just thank you so much for being part of both of these shows. Like, that's a tough place to be that you were at, and then John this morning. But it was also fun, right? Like, in the end of the day, I went to work, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a real job with real problems. And what I mean by that is, like, this is all for fun, right? We're out there having fun. Yeah, people are being communicated with, but it's fandom, and it's just like, it's about our geekiness. So I was like, oh man, I hope John and Kevin are okay, and once they get through this, they'll be able to look back and be like, oh man, that was some of the funnest. Some of these moments are just like the funniest things you look back on. You're like, that was awesome. In the moment, it was just like, wow, I'm sure. So,
It was a reflection of like, I was like, oh man, I thought I was done with this. I could move on with my day, and now I have to do all this extra work to clean up a mess I didn't make. That was the only negative feeling. But if I wasn't feeling that, I would have been laughing so hard.
Kevin had been working very hard, very hard on
since like
preparing
5
all this
o'clock
stuff.
when we got the write-up, when we got the press release at 5 o'clock the previous day, and they're like, we need this ready by 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
And you did all this work based on our original, information, and then it was like, well, toss that out in a second. So yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
It was hilarious though. That was so funny.
I like Eve's comment in chat. No, It was fun to be there live in the moment. But yeah, people that came onto it afterwards, that's fun too.
Yeah.
And Khalil, thank you very much for being with us and being a new guest also today.
Thank you.
So cool
It
that
finally
went,
worked out. It's
dog.
like the third time you asked me, so finally I could make it.
Yeah,
was
I
pretty
thought of it like
Yeah,
I
it's
was
awesome.
like, I was like, oh, I need to have someone who saw this on if we're talking about it. So I'm glad it worked out. That was awesome. We do have another
Yeah,
scene,
no, I mean,
you know.
I'm-
Yeah, you know, we're gonna plan that.
Well, I'm bummed to want like even more people kind of to hear your discussion, and then they can go back and watch it after this. It's
Yeah.
fun for you to have seen that kind of and give us some more kind of texture to what happened in that scene. Then you're able to kind of in maybe
Texture.
some of the
I
notes
like. Yes,
and answer some of
texture.
the questions. So,
Bloody texture.
Bloody texture. Yes. That's
Yeah.
bloody texture.
Oh,
No,
I'm
it's,
gonna bloody
it's been a fun
stop is
day.
just gonna bloody stop is just taking a whole new meaning now for our rewatches.
Yeah. But I want to say Watt Wednesdays being back, like now they've ruined the mornings for us all. Because you just don't know, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
It seems to be the new
drop
time.
something on
Like
Wednesday
they're not
morning.
doing it at like noon Eastern anymore. It's
9 o'clock sharp.
gotta get up early.
Yeah.
I mean, it did make it easier in this way, like when the fact that they dropped it, because the last one they did, I think I even made a tweet on the one for Shora. I was like, oh great, now all the freaks have to wake up at 7, or for me 7 a.m. but 9 a.m. Eastern to check, right? And so they did another one in a week in a row. I don't see it happening next week the same way. That would be a choice that I just don't see coming. But I could see
Christmas
maybe the first, maybe. I doubt it. So I think it's gonna be quiet. I'd be surprised if it's not with the holidays.
They did give us the
holidays.
anthem thing, the Christmas. Well, I don't know when that was. I think it was Christmas.
That was
Eve.
last year, yeah.
It was Eve. It was the day before.
Oh, they gave us was it the BTS stuff?
No, it was like
It was the
okay.
special holiday anthem thing, yeah.
the special holiday anthem.
Oh,
You were away, Matt.
Yeah, I
You
just I don't think they're gonna drop any.
actually.
I know. I took a break. I don't think they're gonna drop anything material, as in, castings or whatever.
Someone in chat
But I
said
do think
for
it's funny that
Christmas, they should give it something to unblur. I mean, that would be the biggest.
Oh yeah,
present for
just
us.
schedule it now.
Gosh.
Or a
Yeah, if they
puzzle,
wanted to
yeah.
get back at me for
Yeah,
all of the
good
laughter I
activity.
had, doing and blurring in a time that I'd like to be resting would be a way to do it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
but I did ask, by the way.
Yeah.
I asked for the 4K. I said I added them on their account on Twitter, just saying this is a great time to release the 4K version. So I'm doing what I can there to test to them on that 4K version of the teaser trailer. That's all they have to give us.
Yeah.
Then we can
That's
move.
it.
We can move beyond this intern of chaos incident 2.0.
2.0 intro. Okay. 2.0. That is exactly. This is better than the last one in just what it gave us, I think, and what it took from us
when we say
last time.
better, you mean not as consequential as never seeing Origins?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that took from us. This gave us content. This gave us content. Yeah. All right, Matt. Thanks for calling in. Yes, this is a live call-in. Talk show.
One last note.
Okay.
Because the one person I haven't called out in our guest is Rebecca. I'm hoping that you, me, and John. I feel like it's tradition now for the last 2 seasons to do our basically our episode guide.
Yeah.
Did we do that before trailers came out, or did we do it after the trailer came out, like the main trailer? Do you recall?
I have to go back and check. I mean, we had a lot. We were working with a lot, so it might have been after, but I wouldn't swear to
Yeah,
it.
let's go back and look, because those would be fun. Like, we break them apart and we actually, show it on the screen, and we have all 8 episodes, and we start doing drawing a map of what everything that happens in which episode. It's going to be a lot of fun to bring that tradition back. So hopefully in January or February you have time, and we can do that.
We should scorecard ourselves for last time so we see how bad we were. Because I don't even remember what we said. How many points did we get?
I know. Oh, that'd be so fun to go back and see those. You're right. I think we should at least go look at the end result and just kind of and talk through like how we did as compared to what happened. So anyway, I just wanted to say it was awesome to see you on, and we should do that episode soon.
Sounds good.
Yes. And we should do an episode this Sunday, Matt. On that note,
I'm working. I'm thinking about it.
All right, cool. All right. Well, we'll be back at some point in the next 10 days or so. And again, as we say around here, good night and smash the black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not wearing one.
I see the Comey as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Carol's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all
This
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
it's
a
like,
traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and
Probably I would say put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,